Today, we're going to dive into a pretty radical idea from a classic Buddhist text, the Avatamsaka Sutra. It paints this picture of reality as, well, like a perfectly functioning operating system. And this one idea, this one shift in perspective, can completely change how you deal with your most difficult emotions.
So let me ask you, does life ever just feel like a struggle? Like you're constantly wrestling with yourself, always pushing against your own anger or your desires or just the everyday stress of it all. It's this really common feeling, right? This sense that we're at war with our own inner world, always trying to fix something that feels broken inside. But what if that whole idea is just wrong?
You see, the Avatamsaka Sutra offers a completely different map of reality. It suggests that we're not living in some random, chaotic world full of problems we have to solve. No. Instead, it says we're inside a vast, interconnected system where every single thing, every feeling already has a purpose, a function. I mean, think about it. Most of the spiritual or self-help advice you hear is all about getting rid of the bad stuff. Eliminate your anger, conquer your fear, suppress your desire. It's this constant battle of subtraction. But the sutra proposes something totally different. What if the goal isn't to eliminate anything, but to actually understand and integrate it all? And this comparison, right here, really gets to the heart of it. The old way of seeing things frames your life as a war against your own flaws, this endless battle between good and bad. But with the Avatamsaka map, that whole division just dissolves. Awakening isn't about winning some kind of inner war. It's about integration. Conflict isn't some enemy you have to crush. It's just another form of energy flowing through the system. And this is the part that might really bend your mind a little. Your anger, it's not a bug in your personal software. Your desire, it's not a system error. According to this map, these things are already functional parts of a huge, awakened whole. They aren't problems to be deleted. They're functions waiting for you to understand them. Okay, so if these intense emotions aren't mistakes, then what in the world are they? Let's zoom in a bit and look at how this new map completely redefines the very energies that usually cause us the most trouble. Yep, we're talking about anger and desire. So the sutra uses these figures that might sound like they're from mythology, dragons, asuras, stuff like that. But here's the thing. It's not telling you fairy tales. It's using these characters, these archetypes, as labels for fundamental energies that exist inside every single one of us and in the world all around us. And this is where we see the system's division of labor, so to speak. That raw life force, that deep-seated longing that we call desire, well, that's dragon energy. It's the fundamental power of change and creation. And that intense, competitive feeling, that ambition, that drive to just get things done and overcome obstacles, that's Ashura energy. Even the force that helps us face down our deepest fears has its own place, its own function. In this system, every single energy has a vital job to do. So when you really boil it down, when you feel that surge of ambition, that's your Asura energy kicking in. When you feel a deep longing or desire, that's your dragon energy. The question is no longer, how do I get rid of this? The real question becomes, how do I bring this powerful energy into the light of my awareness so it can finally do its real job? Okay, so we've got this map of a perfectly functioning system where everything has a purpose. But how does it actually work? What are the basic rules of the road here, the operating principles that make it all run? This first rule, which comes straight from the text, sounds like a total paradox, right? All these doors to awakening are wide open, but for some reason, we can't seem to walk through them. Why is that? Well, the reason is that we're almost always looking for that one door, that one perfect answer or path. But this system isn't linear. It's multi-dimensional, with a countless number of access points all open at the exact same time. So to get in, we have to switch from our narrow, single-minded focus to a much wider, more flexible perspective that actually matches the reality we're in. Now here's the second operating rule, and it's just as wild. It's basically saying that the awakened nature of reality isn't hiding out in some special, sacred place. It's everywhere, in everything. And what that means for you is that your messy, complicated, real life, that's the spot. That's the very place where this whole system is accessible. Your stressful job, your family duties, your boring daily commute, none of that is an obstacle to your practice. In fact, that is the practice.
That's the field where this awakened system is just waiting for you to notice it. All right, let's get to the most important part. How do we take this amazing cosmic map and actually use it to navigate our own lives? This is your user manual, right here. Now, the goal here is not to run away from our complex, modern world and become a hermit. It's not about subtracting things from your life until it's simple. It's about developing a new skill, the ability to see the underlying order and the function of things, even when everything on the surface feels totally chaotic and overwhelming. So let's just walk through these 5 guidelines together. Number 1, when you're feeling overwhelmed, your first instinct is probably to look for things to cut out. Don't. Instead, pause and ask, what is the function of each of these pressures? Number 2, when a really intense emotion like anger or desire bubbles up, don't see it as a failure. The real question is this energy being seen clearly by my awareness right now? 3, all those roles you juggle, parent, employee, friend, they aren't obstacles. They're the playground where your awakening actually happens. 4, at the end of the day, maybe take just a minute to think about any energy that felt chaotic or out of control. Then ask yourself, what was its original awakened purpose supposed to be? And finally, number 5, please let go of the idea of permanent calm. The goal isn't a flat line, it's to be in a state that's dynamic and alive, but not chaotic. A state that's diverse, but not scattered. And that brings us to the ultimate check-in question you can ask yourself in any moment with anything you're feeling. When that surge of emotion or that life pressure hits, are you fighting it? Are you trying to push it down and suppress it? Or are you allowing it to simply be seen, to return to the vast, open system of your own awareness so that it can finally do the job it was always meant to do? The choice, as this incredible map shows us, is always yours.